A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. Chancellor Rachel Reeves has made history by delivering Labour's first budget since 2010, following the party's return to power after July's general election. This budget, which is set to shape the economic landscape for the coming years, includes a series of significant measures aimed at addressing various economic challenges faced by the UK. One of the most notable announcements is the freeze on income tax and national insurance thresholds, which will now extend until 2028. This move is designed to prevent individuals from being pushed into higher tax bands as their wages increase, a measure that could have substantial implications for middle-income earners. Additionally, capital gains tax on profits from selling shares is set to rise from a maximum of 20% to 24%, although rates on additional property sales will remain unchanged. The inheritance tax thresholds will also see a freeze, now extended to 2030, which is likely to impact many families planning for their financial futures. On the corporate front, businesses will face an increased national insurance contribution on worker earnings above £5,000, dropping from the previous threshold of £9,100, with the rate climbing from 13.8% to 15%. This change is expected to affect firms' payroll costs significantly. The employment allowance, which allows companies to reduce their national insurance liability, will see an increase from £5,000 to £10,500, providing some relief to businesses. In a bid to increase tax contributions from private equity managers, the tax on their share of profits from successful deals will rise from up to 28% to up to 32% starting in April. The main rate of corporation tax will remain steady at 25% until the next election, a decision that may please many business leaders who have been advocating for stability. Public transport fares will also see changes, with the £2 cap on single bus fares in England set to rise to £3 starting January. Fuel duty will experience a 5p cut on petrol and diesel, but this reduction is expected to end in April 2025. The government has committed to funding significant infrastructure projects, including tunneling work for the HS2 high-speed rail line to Euston Station in central London and upgrades to the Transpennine rail line between York and Manchester. In terms of taxation on luxury items, air passenger duty for private jet flights will increase by 50%, while tobacco taxes will rise by 2% above inflation, with hand-rolling tobacco seeing a 10% increase. Non-draft alcoholic drinks will also face higher taxes, while draft drinks will see a slight 1.7% tax cut. The budget includes a boost of £500 million for the current Affordable Homes Budget, which runs until 2026, and social housing providers will be permitted to increase rents above inflation under a multi-year settlement. Additionally, the stamp duty surcharge on second home purchases in England and Northern Ireland will rise from 3% to 5%. The legal minimum wage for workers over 21 will increase from £11.44 to £12.21 per hour starting in April, with the rate for 18 to 20-year-olds rising from £8.60 to £10. This is part of a long-term strategy to move towards a single adult rate for minimum wage. The budget also aims to widen eligibility for the allowance paid to full-time carers, raising the maximum earnings threshold from £151 to £195 a week. Chancellor Reeves has signaled plans to invest more in large projects, despite concerns about a potential £22 billion black hole in the UK's public finances. The Office for Budget Responsibility predicts modest growth for the UK economy, forecasting a 1.1% increase this year, 2% next year, and 1.8% in 2026, with inflation expected to average around 2.5% this year before slightly increasing next year. The UK government is also set to receive an extra £22.6 billion for day-to-day NHS spending in England, along with a £3.1 billion boost for investment. Education will also see a significant investment of £6.7 billion next year, with £1.4 billion earmarked for the rebuilding of over 500 schools. Furthermore, £11.8 billion has been allocated to compensate victims of the infected blood scandal, and £1.8 billion is set aside for wrongly prosecuted post office sub-postmasters. Overall, Chancellor Reeves has indicated that this budget will raise taxes by approximately £40 billion, a move that has sparked mixed reactions among economists and the public. As the nation digests these announcements, many are left wondering how these changes will affect their personal finances and the broader economy. The government's plans to abolish the non-dom tax status from April 2025 are also expected to stir debate, as this status has long been a point of contention among taxpayers. With a myriad of changes set to impact various sectors, the coming weeks will be crucial as individuals and businesses adapt to the new economic landscape shaped by labor's historic budget. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.